AFC South, AFC South, AFC. Are you ready for the fight? Nighty night, lights out, no Tyson. About to be the clash of the Titans. Strike like a lightning bolt. You feel the ground pounding, that might be the coast. Quick like a joke, like to hit when provoked. Don't you doubt that. That's a jaguar to a house cat. That's an outcast to a whole squadron. If you talking Houston, then we've got a problem. You'll probably get the horns if you mess with the cattle. Sit back in your saddle and get ready for the fan battle.
Okay, there we are. Oh, looks like we got a good group already. So, hey, everybody, welcome back. AFC South fan battle. Okay, Sam couldn't be here tonight, so you know what? You got the best thing, and that's me. All right. So you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make sure that we bring this in right. But before we get into introducing everybody, we need to introduce the people who are making this possible right now. And that is Manscaped. Oh, my bad. I think I was looking at you. See, look, we got it all down. But yeah, Manscaped. Hey, for anybody who's interested, if you're already using Manscaped, if you don't know what Manscaped is and you're looking to go ahead and invest, hygiene products, male, female. Only reason why we say female is because generally females steal it. It's just like if they're taking your hoodies, they're probably taking your shavers too. It's just like they have no chill. Okay, at this time of year, it's just not right. But you know what? We deal with them. We love them. All right. But hey, make sure if you're already using Manscaped, if you already purchased products, make sure that you're using this code right here, Fan Battle, all one word, 20% off and free shipping. All right. And who doesn't love free shipping? Be honest.
Why would you not want to save money, you idiots? Use the code. Buy the
exactly.
stuff.
And let's be honest, you're generally gonna go and just buy stuff if you have free shipping anyway. So I mean, I don't see why not. But Matt, go ahead and give them some more information. Because that point.
I mean, yeah, you basically told them. I mean, free shipping, 20% off. Great stuff. Boxes are great. Deodorant's great. Body wash. Check it out, guys. You'll enjoy it.
I knew you were going to go deodorant route.
Go ahead. Well, I'm not talking about ball deodorant. They actually have arm deodorant too. So, tell me your famous line there, Chris.
Hey, life is rough, but your balls don't have to be.
Exactly.
So with that being said, people, welcome back. All right. Welcome back officially, AFC South Fan Battle. We're coming at you again live with all the news that you need from week 4. And before we get started, let's just go ahead and get you introduced to the esteemed gentlemen on the panel, starting with, and this is completely non-biased, starting with Harish Nukala representing the Colts.
Hashtag fire Frank Reich.
All right, starting off with positivity. All right, I love it. All right. Representing Jaguars, we have Josh Allen.
Yes, that's my real name. Yes, I'm the second best Josh Allen in Jacksonville. And I just want to give a big shout out to Sammy Football and hope her parole hearing that she's at right now goes well.
Oh,
That's right. The last time that she got locked up for stalking Jalen Ramsey, it didn't go well. So, yep, Sam, we're praying for you. All right, out there. Representing the Titans.
Thoughts and prayers.
Representing the Titans, we have RJ Ellison.
Yes, sir. You know who it is, man. Run the South. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
How can you run it when you're not leading the division right now?
Nah, man.
Yeah.
Well, just give me some time.
What are you running? What are you running? You running the second place?
Nah, man. We run it. Yeah.
It's getting spicy.
Back-to-back champs.
And then representing the Texans, we have Matt Briggs.
Oh, sorry.
Who apparently died.
I was like the Texans disappearing. My bad.
okay.
Well done, sir. Well played.
All right. Yes, I like that. Fantastic. And so, other than that, hey, it was week 4. How's everybody feeling? We're up. We're down. How's everybody feeling today?
Fire everyone.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling good. You know.
Listen, before the season, if you had told me that going into week 5, the Jags would be 2-2, and the 2 victories they had would be commanding victories, I would have taken it, no questions asked. Other than that, so I'm good.
All right.
Ask me in April.
Oh, when you'll be drafting with all 14 draft picks that you got from trading with the Browns.
Yes. Hey,
Okay.
they're losing. They're losing too, so I'm okay with it.
Y'all taking the Bryce Young? Is that what y'all gonna do?
No, negative, sir.
Who do you want? Who do you want to draft?
Oh, the Houston should sign Dak.
We'll talk about that, but yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go into all of that. But before we do,
we got a
Get
couple
some quick-
comments.
we got to wait. Let's go. Yeah, let's go into these comments. First things first. Yeah, I'm not saying that. All right.
Yeah.
Tighten up the lid on your mayo jars.
Yes, sir. Hey, tighten up.
All right. Set precedents. Sure. All right. We'll go with that. Then we have that phrase again.
tighten up.
Colton Broom coming.
I don't
So
know
you
who's
gotta-
making these comments, but big shout out to you for actually spelling precedents correctly, because most people can't. So I
Yeah.
give you credit there.
Probably not
Yeah.
a Colts fan.
And definitely not a Titans fan.
Definitely not. Titans fans still struggle with there, and there. That's a known fact. That's a known fact. All right. Let's just get that out the way.
They struggle with Mayo. Like, come on. Now.
We have that. Okay, so apparently we're in the upside down because somebody said hold it down, RJ, and then somebody else said RJ hold it down. So
Nice.
yeah, somebody's definitely in the upside down trying to let us know. And then feeling hoo-ha real good.
I don't know what that means, but
Somebody
I'm happy for
must
you.
be eating the mayo out of the expired jar because
Oh, I'm
they are
saying,
going
got a
off
spicy
today.
mayo going today. Man.
Oh, it's gonna be a good episode.
they're getting that mayo chip.
That cookies and cream Mayo.
Cookies and cream. Yeah. Oh, that sounds horrible.
Okay. All right. But yeah, all right. So NFL news, because that was awful. All right. So biggest headline this week was from last week's Thursday, or I believe it was a Thursday night game. Dolphins versus the Bengals. Tua had already been banged up on that past Sunday. So 4 days later, it looked like he had recovered from what they said was a back injury, even though we saw him stumble and they were just like, that's clearly a concussion. He once again, somebody went in for a sack, slammed him down. He hit his head and immediately was completely it looked as
Dude,
if his nerves just shot.
The bro was throwing up gang signs. Like, that's not normal, man. It
What
was-
and what's wild, like the hit that he took on the sack on Thursday wasn't crazy by NFL standards, right? Like it wasn't like super violent, which makes you really, really wonder like how bad he got dinged. And that nonsense about a back injury, listen, man, back injuries do not make you wobble like that man was wobbling the Sunday before. It just doesn't work that way.
He got up and walked fine, right? He took a few steps and then he just fell over. Back injuries, you don't fall over like that. Like, yeah, it's insane.
It just still baffles me that he even played in that Thursday night game. It's scared me. He could have died. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On the field.
You're playing with the man's life at that point. It's not funny.
100%.
And it was the same type of the way that he fell in that game from Sunday was the exact same way that he got slammed down in the Thursday night game. Right. So the thing is, he got the exact same trauma, which means that he was definitely concussed, and that was all the more reason why that was dangerous. So now the Dolphins, it got so bad that even I believe Congress reached out regarding the Dolphins thing.
Yeah.
And
really?
And like they got important stuff they got to worry about. Let's stick our nose in the NFL,
Yeah.
But I mean, but in all seriousness, now with seeing how everything happened with Tua, what's going to come from this? Because generally something like this happens in prime time. It's going to change the scope of how things happen from here on out. Like, I think since then, we've heard about 5-6 concussion cases in games where it looks like they were just like monitoring that as closely as possible. But how is that going to change moving forward?
What I think they need to do is they need to have a certain limit of games that they could play. Like, I mean, that they're going to have to miss if they get a concussion or they get put in concussion protocol. Like, they shouldn't just be able to just play the next game.
Here's the thing. Don't have complete idiots as staff in your organization. Like, I mean, that guy had concussion. Why is he playing? And another thing is, that was so horrible. 2 hours later, he's leaving the hospital and flying back with the team. To me, that just smells like I'm trying not to be a Clinton House, but that to me smells like a cover up. Like, I mean, come on, that dude had to be carted off, and he's flying home with the team. This whole organization is nothing but. And I thought the Texans were bad.
Well, this is the same organization that in the offseason got caught colluding with Tom Brady to give him part ownership in the team to basically ditch his contract there and go, play for Miami, right? So they've shown that they aren't going to do the right thing the right way, right? So it doesn't surprise me that they're doing something like that. What the NFL should do, there's a lot of things that they should do, and I don't know what the right answer is, but I tell you what I think they're going to do is nothing. They're going to do a lot of lip service. Even Bill Belichick today came out and said, I've sat players before, even when they were medically cleared with the concussion, and nobody asked him, okay, who and when? Who'd you do that? When's the last time you did that, Bill? Nobody challenged him on it. They're going to give a lot of lip service to it. They're going to give a lot of publicity to players that sit for concussions, and then ultimately, I don't think they're going to change anything because they care more about money than they do about the long-term safety and health of these players.
And I'm not saying that is right or anything, but did anybody see what Andrew Whitworth had to say about it?
What did he say?
He said when he was a player, he got concussed a couple of times, and he knew they knew all the answers to the test. They rehearsed it.
Oh, really?
Supposedly they flubbed the baselines on purpose, right? They flubbed the baselines on purpose, and then it's very easy to pass the test later.
And, and he said he went back into the game, and his teammates seen that he was doing stuff he shouldn't be doing normally. Like he was doing stuff with the concussion. So his teammates like, nah, man, you gotta go sit down. So players gotta help themselves first, if that makes sense. I mean, I get it's a paycheck, but
they're unfortunately going to have to make it a more bureaucratic process. They're going to have to rope more steps in, and more people involved are going to have to sign off on a player coming back, because the more butts that are on the line for something like that, where if blowback happens for a bad decision, like the more it's going to cost a lot of people money to make the wrong decision, the more likely they will be to make the
start
right
taking picks away.
That's what I was saying. I was like, they take away some of their draft picks, man.
Money. I mean,
listen, this is still the continuation of the top. To me, it still starts with that bum idiot who runs the entire thing. It starts with Roger Goodell. He doesn't give a rat's ass, honestly. He does not care. Because you know what? If this would have already been investigated. Honestly, at this point, as many transgressions as that organization has had, I would have forced the owner to sell at this point.
Yep.
Right? He should have sold. You talk about the Tom Brady stuff. You talk about the Brian Flores stuff that cost him hundreds of millions of dollars under the table, ironically, and now this, right?
Yeah.
The team should have been sold by now.
Yep.
Roger Goodell doesn't care.
Look,
the NFL,
I mean, not in the NFL, but in the NBA, they made owners sell their team for less. So you're putting grown men's lives at stake.
Well, all the other major leagues have done it. Soccer, hockey, basketball.
Everybody's done except football. But football's
my thing is, why come they ain't making Dan Snyder do that? You know what I'm saying? The fact that Dan Snyder still hasn't sold the Washington Commanders, they're not going to make the Miami Dolphins.
Jerry Jones.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's symptoms of the same problem, right? Like both those owners, the Washington and the Miami owner, should have been forced into retirement early from being owners.
Well, that was and if you even going to a low level, do you think that Tua would have played if it was a Sunday game at 1 p.m.?
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I think there probably may not have necessarily been as much pressure, but you have this new Amazon deal. And then, of course, you need to have the person out there who's been lighting things up with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And then, I mean, this backfired. Like, whatever they were planning to do, having Tua out there thinking it was going to work, it didn't. And now they're going to be under more scrutiny because
if it was a Sunday game, I think he had a better chance of surviving than what he did Thursday. He would have a couple more days.
He would have had more days to recover.
I actually think, depending, I mean,
but no matter what, he shouldn't have played
at
all.
Happen, right?
No, he shouldn't have. No, absolutely not.
I don't think he should have played at all. I think I agree with RJ. I think once you're in concussion protocol, regardless of whether you pass the test or not, minimum 3 games.
Yes,
right. My cousin, obviously, now it's not at the same level, and he's much younger. Suffered a concussion. I think it was out for a minimum a month or something. Like, regardless of what his status was, he couldn't play for a month, and then he had to pass a test, and then something like that, right?
And I think the olive branch you throw the teams maybe is you add a couple of roster spots. Yeah. Right? You expand the roster by 3 or 4 players to say, when you lose a guy to the concussion protocol. But you look at you look at the fact that the lower levels of the sport are protecting players better than the billion-dollar industry that is the NFL, and it's just a shame.
It's like they always feel like they're gonna get another player, and they say, "Oh, we could just get another player to do the same thing he do." Like that's how they taking it, how they going about it, in my opinion.
Should they get rid of Thursday Night Football?
No.
I don't like it, but I mean, they're not going to get rid of it. You know what I'm saying?
They purposely added really good matchups this year, right? There actually hasn't been a bad Thursday Night Football game yet.
And the Amazon Prime, the Amazon stat tracker and all that is fantastic.
Yeah. I'd be okay with letting Amazon broadcast every game.
Yeah,
every Sunday. Oh yeah, dude, I'd be okay with no CBS or Fox. Like I don't like I don't like any of those local channels. Like they all suck in my opinion.
Honestly, ESPN and ABC, I feel like it better than me. Like I feel like they should do that instead of just CBS and Fox.
Yeah, NBC has the best, it seems, from like a broadcast standpoint in terms of like picture quality.
NBC
does it.
Yeah. The presentation's good.
Yeah, presentation's
good. I don't like Chris Collinsworth though. He trained.
Well, I mean that's Collinsworth.
But all the announcers are corporate, right? Like they're very corporate, very very buttoned down. They're not fun. There's no Gus Johnson's probably the closest announcer you have on any games that actually is sort of fun to listen to anymore.
Yeah. I like Romo and also I like Herbert Herbstreit. He's been really good on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He's on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
It's like
so. Whatever program allows you to watch your team out of market, that's what needs to happen. Because I'm tired of watching these trash ass games. I mean, my team's trash, but I'd rather watch that trash than somebody else's trash.
Yeah. True.
I would be very happy with just Amazon and Peyton and Eli for the rest of my life. Like, give Peyton and Eli a legitimate contract. And make them commentators.
Yep.
I don't get how Peyton Manning isn't an announcer. Like, I feel like he'd be a really good announcer.
I think he's gonna be an owner one of these days.
Oh yeah, I hope it's the owner of the Colts.
Before we move on, we got a comment from our own host with the most.
Miss y'all tonight. See you next week. Don't worry, Sam.
Get off your phone.
Everything's going well. I got this.
Get off your phone while you're before the judge. They don't like that.
Exactly.
They don't like that.
And make sure you don't have any White Claws in your hand because we know how you gravitate towards those.
Yeah. Just stay out of the bars.
Oh, wait. Sam just texted me. She wanted everybody to know that she loves Jalen forever.
Oh, we know.
All right. So then now moving on to, I'm going to say another serious thing. So apparently there was news about J.J. Watt, but didn't know what was going on. And apparently it leaked that well, actually, Matt can probably describe this a little bit better because I just read up on it just a few minutes ago, and this is completely like.
So insane. It doesn't say when, but you're right. A story was going to leak, so J.J. Watt did the right thing. He leaked it himself. He went to AFib, and they had to shock him back. I guess he lost consciousness and everything, so they had to. Get the paddles on him and bring him back to life. And he played this Sunday.
What?
Yeah. But if anybody watched the Cardinals game after the press conference, or after the game, after the press conference, he was talking about being a dad, and he started crying. I think the saga of J.J. Watt is coming to an end, which
man.
He's had that back issue forever.
He should have been done last year. I mean, can't stay healthy.
At some point, the toll on your body is not worth.
Well, I mean, the dude's what 6'6", almost 300 pounds. I mean, that's a lot for your body to take. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he already going to the Hall of Fame. What else is he playing for?
He's playing for a ring. He's playing for a ring.
Yeah,
the great ones, a franchise that ain't never won a ring.
Yeah, but the great ones like JJ Watt, man, they're highly motivated. I'll tell you a quick JJ Watt story. A couple of years ago, back when he was playing for the Texans, they were in Jacksonville. I won sideline passes pre-game, and that man, while he was warming up, he did his stuff. He spent 15, 20 minutes like hanging out with all the Jags fans that were down on the sideline. Mm-hmm. He played catch with a kid. Like he had a football and was tossing it back and forth, was chatting him up. Like spent a lot of time, you know. I wouldn't go as far as saying I'm a JJ Watt fan, but like I got a lot of respect for that dude. And you just hope that he retires before, you know, something awful really happens, right? Like you know, it ain't worth dying for.
Yeah, JJ Watt is that guy that you know for a fact is always going to be the class act. He's always going to be the guy that you want on your team because he's going to go out of his way to make sure that he's riled up. He gets the guys riled up. But at the same time, it's like he suffered injury after injury after injury. And I mean, it's just like he keeps on trying to get to this point in his career where, you know, he can reach that next level. And at this point, it doesn't look like it. So the thing is, at this point, it's just like he's basically playing for something that isn't attainable at the cost of his body, and now he's older. Like he's what, like 34, 35 now?
Yeah, he's got to be up there.
Yeah, he's got to be up there for sure.
Yeah, so
I think he's 32.
32?
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But
there's a group of guys where like, oh yeah, this guy's probably like 36.
33. Yeah, he's
and then somebody's like,
33.
yeah,
him and Khalil Mack came in the same draft, and they're the same age.
That's crazy.
They did?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm sorry, not Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm sorry. The guy for the Bills started his career.
Oh, Mario Williams.
Mario Williams.
No, started his career in Denver.
Von Miller.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 20. That was a 2010 draft. Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't y'all boo him when y'all first got JJ?
Yes, I was happy. I was happy. But yes, we got Texans fans that booed the man.
What? That's crazy.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Y'all booed the whole Hall of Fame.
Yeah, like he's a good guy. He had a great career. I don't follow that whole storyline how the Texans ruined all these players' careers, but I will say we did waste JJ Watt's career. I mean, the dude was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Should have won MVP. If he was a quarterback, he would have won it. But like Josh says, he needs to give it up before he's not able to see his kid being born.
Yeah. My thing with him, I mean, with y'all, you saying you wasted his career. I mean, my thing is y'all were a brand new franchise when y'all got him. So it's we weren't.
We were 10 years in the league, and we were already making playoffs. So
yeah, I mean, I think they'd already gotten in with Matt Schaub at that point. Yeah.
We were
you guys almost killed Tony Baselli. I'll never forgive you for that.
Yeah, don't go there, Josh. All right.
That man JJ Watt used to sing.
Tony Baselli destroyed David Carr's career. Okay,
y'all destroyed every quarterback career that we had. Every time JJ Watt played the Titans, he get 4 sacks.
Especially Zach Mettenberg. He loves Zach Mettenberg.
Man.
Oh,
we cannot block him. We literally drafted Taylor Warren to block JJ Watt. Like we literally got that for him.
Yeah, I mean, when Taylor Lewan was on that Belco, he stood a chance. He was able to, you know, it's just like once you get a little bit extra pre-workout that's under the counter, then I mean, you're good.
That's another guy that need to retire. Taylor Lewan, man, he done.
Bro, didn't he hurt his back too again?
Yeah, he's out for the season, man. I was like, why are we re-signing him? Like, you know, I'm like, nah, he don't need to stay, man. He probably ain't gonna make it. Like,
yeah.
Well, that's the problem in the whole league. Like the whole league's offensive line has just been crazy bad. Like it seems like almost every team's tackles have been terrible. Yeah, like, there's not been one outstanding tackle in this whole NFL.
That's been our entire season. Sorry.
Yeah. But hey, listen, we're praying for JJ Watt. Hopefully he makes a full recovery, finishes out the season strong, and then hopefully rides off into the sunset.
We got to see this comment because it's a great one.
Yep.
They could have given one money to AJ. Literally. That is.
I'm gonna say it again, man. I'm gonna say it again just for you, Chris, bro. Getting rid of AJ Brown was the dumbest decision in Titans history, by far.
Yes, he said it.
Thank you.
Nah,
Thank
but
you.
hey,
We've
I
been
said it
telling you, bro.
the last time I was on the.
Oh, I
on
wasn't here, so it didn't count. But now,
Yeah, I
but
know
now
you wasn't here, like Chris was. And
Yeah.
man, yeah, I said it. I
Listen,
said that was the
I'm never
dumbest
not
decision
gonna.
I
I'm never
did.
not gonna do the touchdown we're here thing when that happens because
Like, you missed my reality check, Harris.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah, I
I'll
had a
dish it back to you
moment on
today.
here.
I'll dish it back to you today.
What'd you
Oh
say?
Lord.
Oh.
But moving
go.
on from somebody who we want to ride off into the sunset to another person who just won't go away. Antonio Brown.
He doesn't need to go away. He needs to be locked in the
Yeah,
He needs to
in
be
a straight
locked
jacket.
away. Yeah.
Listen, the last time that we saw Antonio Brown, he was on stage making up a dance that we quickly forgot about. To now, he is now exposing himself in swimming pools. It is,
If you ever needed more evidence of why the NFL's concussion protocol needs a complete overhaul,
This is gonna be Tua in 10 years.
Oh no!
Oh Lord!
I hope not. But I mean, honestly, that's the
Jesus.
risk, right?
Right.
Like Antonio Brown's a different human being than what he was before he had all
that
those.
He was always kind of different. Because if you saw the pictures of him in high school and college, they were just like, "Oh yeah, that kid used to eat rocks." Like it's just like that. Like you knew that he was just an absolute like he would when he tweeted out those lyrics to Super Gremlin by Kodak, I was like, "Yeah, that's perfect. That's fantastic."
When I was in the first grade, there was a kid named Eric, and he used to write on his tongue with permanent marker. I remember I went home one day and I told my parents about it, and they said, "You can't be friends with Eric." That's who Antonio Brown is. The kid in school that your parents are like, "Don't be friends with him."
Flash forward to 2022. Eric is listening to us right now.
What's up?
Exactly.
What's up, Eric?
But so he exposed himself in a swimming pool in Dubai, and it's we're not gonna say exactly how, but if you were ever a child and you went up to your parents and you said, "Hey, look at this," and then you hold something in front of their face using your two fingers, that's exactly what Antonio Brown did.
I don't think he used his two fingers though.
I'm pretty sure he didn't do that.
Yeah. Needless to say, prayers to the victims of once again another Antonio Brown mishap. I'm not sure if there were kids in the pool, because then I'm sure he would have gotten arrested.
I'm still like Josh was saying, like, I don't know how he didn't get arrested in Dubai. Like they arrest people for spitting on the sidewalk. Like it's crazy strict down there.
Well, Dubai's a little bit different, I'm going to say, from other countries, because Dubai does have like more of that like touristy. It's a lot richer out there. So I mean, whatever
it is, but I know for a fact if you go to Dubai and you're out and about and you have a camera and you take a picture of a woman with your camera, you can go to jail for that.
Yeah,
that's a serious offense. So think of that in comparison to what this idiot did in the pool. And that's why with the little bit I know about Dubai's laws, I was just like, how did he not? And if there's a dad in that pool and like your kid is in there,
why do you?
I don't think if it's me, I don't think he lasts until the police. That happens around, bro. That's just not like. There's just lines you don't cross, man, and that he just seems to, he's a. Anybody ever watch the Chappelle Show? When they used to do the
habitual line stepper.
He's a habitual line stepper.
He's a habitual line stepper.
As
soon as you said Chappelle, I was just like, I know where you're going with that.
He's a habitual line stepper.
I had a friend that worked in Dubai, and he really said if you spit a loogie on the ground, you can get arrested for it. Chewing gum. If you spit chewing gum on the ground. So yeah, like Josh said, I don't know how that guy's still walking around. Like,
yeah.
And plus, like, not even your own children, Josh. Like, if that was my wife in the pool, and then some dude just showed it, I was like, I don't care if you're Antonio Brown, you're 3 times bigger than me.
I'm not saying I'm winning the fight, but there's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Fists will be thrown.
Yeah.
And then he did, and then the next thing he did, he started taking heat for it on Twitter. And then he posted a picture of Tom Brady's wife hugging him after he won the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay.
Didn't he also like flash his ass to somebody too?
Yeah, he did it to the girl in the pool.
Yeah, let's just say we just wouldn't be surprised. Like the fact, like look at everybody's face with the stuff that we're hearing. Look at how we're all just like, yeah, he just did it. That's where we're at with this Antonio Brown thing now.
You know what it is, right? You know why he's doing this.
CTE?
No, because all this whole a year and a half we were talking about Deshaun Watson and now Antonio Brown. He's like, fuck it, I need to do something for them to talk about me now. So
he got bored of being not in the limelight.
Yeah, it's our fault.
Do y'all think it was that Vontaze Burfict hit that making him act like this?
Oh yeah.
Oh dude.
Oh yeah.
Go back and look at interviews. Go back. I actually saw this on Twitter the other day. Go back and look at interviews with Antonio Brown his second year in the league, and now watch the stuff that he does. Completely different person.
Different
the way he speaks, the way he speaks, his just interaction with everybody, just who he is as a person is completely different.
He was kooky weird before, and now he's cool. like you know,
mental weird now.
Sexual assault weird, which is a whole different.
Y'all think they're gonna let him in the Hall of Fame?
No.
That's when he's dead.
I mean, he got the numbers. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be a whole lot of posthumous.
If Roger Goodell is still around, maybe.
I mean, he's one of the best receivers of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I want to go all day. Quit drinking the mayo, okay?
I'm sorry, he is though. Him and Julio was dominating the league at the point in time. They were the two best wide receivers at the point in time.
Now.
Yeah, but not all.
He's one of the
we
best.
We know you're upset about AJ Brown, but come on now.
He's one of the best of his generation.
Era, how about that? Of his era.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. I was gonna say he's not better than Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, Andre Johnson.
No.
He's not better than none of those guys. Like he's quite down the list a little bit.
Yeah, but the thing the thing for him is going to be a lot of the yardage, a lot of the stuff that he got, as far as accolades in his career, came with Ben Roethlisberger. And if we're saying that Ben Roethlisberger is going to be one of those guys who's going to, be able to get into the Hall of Fame, because he's broken numerous records.
I think it makes Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Big Ben gonna get in.
But the thing is like, it's going to be tough to say, no, you don't let Antonio Brown in based on his numbers when you're letting Big Ben in, and he's just like, oh, yeah, absolutely, we're going to let him in.
I don't think it's a numbers argument that keeps Brown out. I think it's his behavior. It's the same reason that's the same reason that the Jaguars stayed far away from Jimmy Smith for many years. They didn't put him in the Ring of Honor. They didn't have him back for any of the alumni games. They because he had done some things, and it's not Antonio Brown things, but he had done some things that weren't good for publicity, right? And I think the Antonio Brown is like that, but worse.
Yeah.
And I see where you're going, Chris. The thing with Big Ben is, like, we all know he did it or allegedly did, but he was never proven. Same thing with Deshaun Watson. It was never proven. So I don't think that's going to hurt Big Ben in going to the Hall of Fame. But there's pictures of him with his pecker in his hand in the pool.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
no,
I think with Ben Roethlisberger, too, he turned and owned it, right? He didn't at first, but eventually he said, you know what? I did some things that were absolutely wrong. And now, he's married. He's got kids. There's this argument that you can make for Ben Roethlisberger that, yes, he did things that he shouldn't have, but he appears to have learned his lesson and stopped, right? Whereas Antonio Brown is still going crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious if Antonio Brown.
They didn't want to let T.O. in the Hall of Fame for a while just because of how he acted. When he didn't even I don't think he really just broke the law. He just was just a wild,
No, the thing with T.O. was strictly based on his personality, because the man never got caught with drugs, never got caught speeding. He never did alcohol, never did anything. So, at that point, they didn't let him in because of preference.
He talked real crazy, or he'll call somebody out on his team in a press conference, and it's like.
Well, not even just that. Like, look, like Hurley said, it's all about Roger Goodell. And if you talk bad about Roger Goodell, you're not getting the Hall of Fame. That's just how it is.
Yeah, Terrell Owens always reminded me of Dennis Rodman, right?
Exactly.
Dennis Rodman was one of the greatest basketball players, but for a long time, a lot of people were saying, well, I don't know if he should go in the Hall of Fame because of how he acts. Same thing with Terrell Owens.
Yeah, because apparently that's a factor randomly for some people.
Gee, wonder
when it's convenient.
When it's he didn't go first ballot because of his character. Like, that's the only reason why he didn't go first ballot. And he was like so upset about that. He didn't even want to be in the Hall of Fame because he's like, man, I got the numbers to back it up. Like, that should be first ballot.
Well, I think that's where you get into some of the arguments of what's the difference between a Terrell Owens and then someone like John Elway, who is notorious bad human being behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Just terrible person. Well, a lot of people make the argument, and I think you got to look at it like I think skin
Brett
color.
Favre, I mean,
man, skin color sometimes plays a role in that stuff, right? Like,
skin color definitely plays a role in that.
Absolutely.
I hate to say it, but he's right because like you look at it this way. I mean, granted, I hate to say it, but white people do have a privilege when it comes to certain.
That's it. I'm leaving. No.
Canceled. Mute him up.
Yeah.
You're right, RJ. You're right. We said it in the podcast before. The NFL's ran by old white men.
Yep.
Who does not
and Tony
Khan
change. Or Shad Khan.
Well,
Shad Khan's a bum.
They just don't want to change the culture.
Yep.
Like you got people like Amy Adams
Strunk.
Sean Khan does kind of change its culture. The person up there in Buffalo, she's trying to change the culture. Like you got a couple, but you got these old men like Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft, Snyder. They don't care.
Listen,
Shad Khan ain't bucking the culture, brother. Shad Khan is not going to upset the apple cart. He won't. He
can't. You really think about it. I don't think he can.
Just why? Because the reason I just said.
That's what I'm saying.
By Rich.
Yeah, I can tell that Miss Amy is a Moneybag Yo fan because that's all he always in every game. I'm like, man.
But I think what we're gonna see is I'm gonna say with a lot of these old guys who have been in the league for a long time. I mean, we're probably gonna see it's just like within maybe like the next 5 to 10 years, we're gonna see people coming over. Do we think that Dallas is gonna be any different? No, because I mean, Jerry Jones passing the torch to Stephen Jones. I mean, he might as well be a Jerry Jones clone. But you're going to see like certain people that, whoever is the successor for Dan Snyder, if they do anything, whoever's the successor for Stephen Ross, if they do anything, like that's going to, that's going to be the end.
But you never know though, because like Bud Adams was a racist piece of shit, and look at his daughter. His daughter is a complete opposite of it. So you never know. We can hope, but
I would love to see a coalition of former players pool their money and get either full or majority ownership in a team. I think that would be a cool thing.
Peyton Manning or Pat McAfee. I would love those two.
Both of them.
Go to Jim's office right now and say, "Hey, Jim,
you guys are completely out on Ursay. That's what I'm hearing."
I just want I'll talk about it in my segment.
Yeah,
okay,
we'll wait here. We're gonna get back on track here. So, So next thing is a couple of records have been broken.
No, that's from last week.
Guess not. Okay, they have not been broken. Okay, they are still intact.
Actually, the Jaguars did break a record. Trevor Lawrence did.
Fumbled 3 times.
Oh yeah, most fumbles in a game, right?
Most lost fumbles by a quarterback in this century.
Was it 5?
He lost 4 fumbles. Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
I'm
surprised Matt Ryan.
He had 5 turnovers. But so there was one record. There you go.
Okay.
The Tennessee
we're gonna actually get to that in a second. But before we do, Matt, run us through the Chargers playing against the Texans this week.
I mean, what can I say? We're garbage. No, Davis Mills. He started off the game real bad, threw a pick, almost for a pick 6. Is this? I was a Davis Mills fan. If you listen to the prior podcast, but I'm ready to move on from him. But am I saying go draft a quarterback right now? No, because if you draft a quarterback, you're in the same position you are now. So I say let's use his rookie deal to build this team. We still need a defensive end. We still need a defensive tackle. Like the Chargers have not scored a rushing touchdown in this whole year. They scored 2 against us. The run defense needs to step it up. So we still need a receiver because let's be honest, the only teams that Josh Conley can start for is the Jaguars and the Texans. There's no reason why he should be on anybody's starting roster. So
I don't think he could start for the Jags. I don't think he could.
Well, not right now, but he did back in the day. He could have. You know what I mean? But
I'm telling you, go for Bryce Young, man.
But, no, I don't want that garbage. But
whoa,
that man tripping.
No, he's gonna be another Mac Jones. I'm good with that.
I think Bryce Young's already too.
Yeah, but going into the game, we were getting first half was 27-7, not looking good. But the Texans, look, man, the Texans are our ass. But every game they played every team really close. They came back and almost pulled the upset. At one point, they had the score to 27-24. Like, I mean, that's a team with fight. The Colts, they had the game won, but can't score in the fourth quarter. The same thing with Broncos and the Bears. Like they have the heart, they have the fight. So I am excited for the future. It's kind of like Josh can probably help me. He probably saw that too last year. So I think with a couple like Pep Hamilton, Harris told me he was garbage from the get-go. I didn't want to listen to him. I thought he was going to be good, but he has to go. He's completely horrible at play calls. His offensive scheme is terrible. I don't know why you're running a two tight end set when you have no tight ends. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like,
we were doing that with Kobe Fleener, and it used to piss me off so bad.
Oh yeah, because Kobe Fleener was not a blocker.
God.
Well, we have. Christ. But here's another thing too, and this is what a lot of Texas fans get mad at me. We have OJ Howard, who is a potential Pro Bowler, but we refuse to play him. Like, why? Why even go pick him up? Tyler Johnson, the same thing. Like, he's an upcoming receiver. Why do you not play him? But another thing why I'm kind of on the fence of getting rid of Lovey, cover 2 defense is garbage. It reminds me so much of prevent defense. Keep everything in front of you so they get a little bit of yardage, and it's garbage. I hate it.
You have to have the right personnel to play cover 2.
110%, and we don't have it. We don't have a Brian Urlacher. We don't have a Lance Briggs. We don't have a Peanut Tillman. Like, it's, But the bright side, we got Dameon Pierce. He looks like a beast. Hopefully, he can keep it going, especially against the Jags this Sunday. But
and I just want to call out that I definitely call Dameon Pierce being a beast. And when we did our draft show, and when I was looking at the Texas draft, I said the Texas draft, they drafted a very good running back. Because
they're so far, their draft has been really good. Christian Harris hasn't played yet, but hopefully he plays this Sunday and rocks out. But I'm excited for the future. And the good note is the Browns lost to a team that should have won, to the Falcons. So as long as they keep losing, I'm okay with it.
Now, my question for you, Matt, is let's just say like they keep losing, but let's just say by the time a certain player comes back, they're maybe like what 6 or let's just say 5-6.
Who, Deshaun?
Yeah, let's just say
I don't think they're gonna go 5-6, but go ahead. Yeah.
Let's just say he comes back and then they end up running the table and getting into the playoffs. Will you be more pissed at the Browns or more pissed at Deshaun even more?
I mean, I'm not going to be either way because, my personal opinion, he should be playing this year. But I don't make the calls. So if he does, cool. More power to him. I can tell you what I can tell the Browns fans what you're going to get out of him. You're going to get a first round bye or a first round exit, or you're going to have a 24-point lead and he's going to disappear and lose the game for you. So, that's what you're going to get out of Deshaun Watson. But I don't see them winning 5 or 6 games. I think the most they're going to win is 3. Like, their next schedule is pretty ridiculously tough.
The Browns? You think the Browns only going to win 3?
Huh? They're 2-2 right now.
The Browns, they're okay. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to sit there and say
I don't think they are because they lost to the Falcons and they lost to the Jets.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, those are two teams. I mean, I know you, RJ. You know all about losing to bad teams, but you know,
I'm scared. This week we played the freaking Commanders. I'm like, Lord, how much? Let me look at this team. I'm scared.
But also, what people fail to realize, too, everybody thinks like Watson's going to be this top 5 quarterback. Dude hasn't played a year and a half. Like, I don't care who you are. That's going to be tough to come back into the swing of games. I mean, look at Le'Veon.
Oh, yeah, Deshaun.
Yeah, look at Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown. I mean, when he went back to the Raiders and to the Patriots, he wasn't 110%. Like it, we can say all you want, but I don't think he's going to be ready to play.
But weren't they injured and not in trouble?
No, they held out.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they held out for contracts.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
But the Jaguars game, I think we're going to have a lead at some point in the game, and then when it comes to the fourth quarter, I think the Jags are going to walk all over us. I'm going to say 34-17.
34. Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. That's the fair assumption. So now, of course, well, before we move on, got a couple of comments. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think they're talking about Dameon Pierce. When Watson comes back, the Browns going to be tough. It's just like, and you can't blame that blown 24 lead on Watson.
How can you? You didn't score one touchdown after that lead. How can you not?
I mean, I get it, but also the Texans defense also allowed 56 points.
Yeah, but he also went against Patrick Mahomes. Like
that Chiefs team was different, man.
Yeah.
Let me remind you what the Chiefs did that year. They went to the Super Bowl. I mean,
that Chiefs team was different.
Yeah,
that was probably Patrick Mahomes' best team.
It was. It really was. You know.
Oh yeah.
And Deshaun and DeAndre both disappeared that game. Like DeAndre only had 2 catches for like 20 yards.
Yeah.
And Deshaun Watson didn't have a touchdown. I mean, come on.
Right.
You can say it's play calling like this guy said, as much as you want, but if the guy's not, conducting the play calls, then something wrong with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair enough.
Then moving on. Jaguars played the Eagles yesterday.
Did they play the Eagles? I don't know. It felt like the Jaguars spent a lot of time playing themselves and beating themselves. So I have heard on good authority that Trevor Lawrence has entered the hydrophobia protocol because apparently the man is afraid of and allergic to water. I don't know if that dude has ever played in the rain before. I don't understand what happened, but I'll tell you 2 things. A lot of people started harping on the Jags because the Jags have a long history of losing. That loss is not in even the top 100 worst losses that I have personally witnessed as a Jaguar fan. If you had told me that the Jaguars could turn the ball over 4 times and only be down essentially a touchdown with 4 minutes left and have the ball in their hand, I would have said, okay, no, you would have taken that. That was not, the old Jaguars team would have lost that, by 30 points. That would have been a drubbing, like a baby seal. They would have beat us like a baby seal. And I think, people get mad at me when I say this. There's some question marks around Trevor Lawrence. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's the guy. I hope he's the guy. But, you look at that. He also threw an interception that was this literal same mistake he made against the Chargers and threw it right into the hands of Derwin James, who – luckily for the Jags had stone hands and couldn't hold on to the pass. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not feeling terrible about it, And then the other thing I'll say is if you had asked any Jags fan, if they would accept this scenario, you're 2-2 going into week 5 and you had 2 commanding victories and not tell you who you beat and who you lost to, I would have said, okay, I'll take that. Because, at that point you're in the hunt still, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Some people reacted like the Jags got eliminated from playoff contention. Like even Jags fans, there was just crazy like reactions to it. Like it was frustrating to watch for sure, but like I don't know, man. I still feel like they're better than they were.
Josh, like I get where you're coming from because I kind of feel the same way about Davis Mills, but also I gotta keep reminding myself him and Lawrence are both 2 second-year players. Like I mean, we gotta. You got to just give them time. That's all.
No quarterback in the universe can overcome 5 turnovers. I just don't think that you're just asking an unreasonable. The defense gave up a lot of yards, but they made big plays and they had big stops against the Eagles. AJ Brown, I don't understand. I agree with you, RJ. I don't understand what your team was doing. And I don't understand why the Eagles didn't throw to him more. He was wide open on a bunch of plays. Every catch he had was like a 30-yard completion against the Jags, and they just didn't throw him the ball. And thankfully, I guess I'm glad they didn't. But I'm not feeling as disappointed or upset over that loss as I have about other losses. I was more mad about the Washington loss because that felt, stupid compared to this one, because at least with the Eagles, and listen, the loss is a loss. They should have won. There's no excuses. But the Jags were playing arguably one of, if not the best team in the league at the moment. And I don't know. They had a chance to win it. They didn't pull it off, but they were in it.
To be the best, you got to beat the teams in front of you, and the Eagles are only undefeated team. So,
yeah, it's what I talked about last week on the Jaguar. I think the Jags are a good team. And a good team will be in the hunt for the playoffs. You might make it in, you might not. But you have to get to a point where you move up with the great teams and the elite teams, right? Like the great teams make the playoffs consistently, but they don't necessarily make a deep run. And then the elite teams, are the Tom Brady's of the world and the Patrick Mahomes led teams, like those teams that they're consistently have a legit chance to make it to the Super Bowl and possibly even win it, right? The Jags are good. The question is, do they have what it takes to become great or become elite? And the season will tell the tale.
Okay, now and I know that the Jags, I'm going to say, just based on previous years, that the Jags right now, even at 2-2, are exceeding expectations.
Yep.
Now, even with the way that you play, like, of course you lost to the Eagles, sole undefeated team in the league. We know, like, that team is probably like the standard at this point. But do you feel like this type of momentum you'll be able to hold throughout the season, even getting into the later months?
Well, that's the question, right? We saw what the Jags can do coming off a win, right? And then they dominated the Chargers after they beat the Colts. So the question is, does this team have what it takes to bounce back mentally from a game that they should have won? Very frustrating, sort of demoralizing, weird loss, right? And I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I tell you this, I think, I feel bad for the Houston Texans fans that I know, because I'm telling you, I think a Doug Peterson-led team, the Texans are coming into Jacksonville. I think you're going to see a little bit of a bloodletting against Houston. I think they're going to get back to basics, and it's going to be the same story you saw against the Chargers. They're going to time of possession, and that defense is going to come ready to just, feast on David Mills. But
the only reason why I said that, what I said, Josh, is because the Texans do so hard. They do so, like the Colts, we're supposed to get trounced like 50-10. So I just said that because I think we have power.
I think if we had beaten the Eagles, then the Texans game becomes a trap game. Right. Oh, the lowly Texans are coming into town. Yeah. I think that loss against the Eagles you're going to see, if this team is as good as I think they are, you're going to see them really come hard to the hoop, so to speak, to give it basketball.
It humbled you guys. I get it.
Yeah, it was very humbling, because even me, man, I was running my mouth on social media. The Jags social media folks were producing a lot of really cool hype videos. It felt like they were believing their own hype a little bit, and I wondered. I said, that's always dangerous, right? Like you want people who aren't thinking about how great they are, but rather what do they need to do to stay great. Not that they're great, but you get what I'm saying, right? They performed very well in those couple games, but we'll see who they are for real, I think, on Sunday. And the last thing I'll say is, I've always said, I've always agreed with a friend of mine who says that the first 4 weeks are really just an extended preseason. Mm-hmm. Starting in the fifth week. Yeah. Each team has about 4 weeks of tape on the others. You know what they're going to do. They pretty much know who those other teams are offensively and defensively. So the real season starts this week, and we'll see, once teams have a lot of tape on the Jags, are the Jags as good as we think they are, and vice versa? Are the Texans better, than people think they are? So
yeah. All right. So then, what do you have the score being in this game?
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be nasty. I think it's going to be like 38-13. I think it's because I think it's going to be, what happened to I think the Texans defense is going to get worn out. And then when you get a tired defense and if the Jags can manage to not turn it over, the Jags have shown that when they don't turn the ball over, they had turnovers in that Washington game. They had a ton of them against the Eagles. When they don't turn the ball over, they are a very dangerous team.
I will say this: if you have James Robinson on your fantasy team, start him. He's going to get at least 200 yards, at least.
So you don't think that it's going to be a little bit different because this is a division game?
No,
I think so, but
no, because of what happened in the Eagles game, I don't think so.
My take is look, I know that the Jaguars to me are the better team, but I do think the Texans are gonna come to play, and because they're trying to get their first win. And I don't think they're gonna beat the Jaguars, but they're gonna keep it close.
I'm not gonna say that the Texans are gonna roll over. I just think that the Jags are gonna be able to pull. I think personally, the Jags are gonna be able to pull off what they did against the Chargers, and they're just gonna keep the ball for so long that the defense, when the Jags defense is fresh in the late third and fourth quarter, like they play at a very high level. At least they have so far this year, right? So that's my prediction. Yeah, but also, the phrase "any given Sunday" exists for a reason, right? Like who knows? So we'll see.
Gotcha. All right. And then moving on to not talking about an upcoming divisional battle, but divisional battle that just happened yesterday. And if you ask a Titans fan what happened, then they'll tell you King Henry did everything he was supposed to. You talked to a Colts fan, you said that you wish that Frank Reich would have got lost on the way to the field. I mean,
Chris, you forgot Henry did it shirtless. You forgot that.
You forgot what?
Henry did it shirtless.
Oh, Henry did it shirtless. There you go. Yeah, Henry did it shirtless. But you know what? It's only because of the fact that we're gonna go through all the teams that lost, and we need to just let Harish vent before RJ goes on his rant of why the Titans are now going to win 2 Super Bowls when they go to the Super Bowl this year. But Harish, tell us what happened versus the Titans. Break that down for us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the same thing that happens every week. The Colts don't show up for 3.5 quarters. They get behind. They do dumb shit. And then Frank starts to climb the mountain, and then we fall off the mountain by the 4th quarter. And it doesn't matter anymore. We had 6 possessions to tie that game. 6 possessions. 6 possessions at the end of the game to tie the game after being down 24-0 or 24-10. I don't know. I'm tired of moving. I'm tired of climbing mountains. I'm tired of chopping wood. I'm tired of.
You did call that during the game. You said, "Well, here come the false hope." I was like, I was scared. I was scared. I was like, "Man, they could come back."
And I told you. I was like, the only way we lose this game is if Frank Reich prevents us from winning the game. And lo and behold, the shit he did all game made no fucking sense. It made no sense.
I just don't understand how many times are you gonna run Jonathan Taylor up the middle till you realize, okay, it doesn't work? Like, get him to the outside.
I'm a completely unbiased host, and I can't speak on it.
I don't understand.
Okay, Sam.
Look, I'm gonna speak from what I saw as a Titan fan from a negative standpoint. You guys killed us with them tight ends. Them tight ends y'all got. Y'all need to keep throwing them the ball. I'm like, the Mo Alley Cox could have had 200 on his darn defense.
Easy.
Lonnie Woods could have had 100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that rookie tight end.
Run Hines out to the outside. run Jonathan Taylor to the outside.
Give me a brand new coach.
Hey, like I said before, I watched the. I know the game. I know what was working against us.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there was 3 things that were working really well: the tight ends and Alex Pierce on the outside. Yeah. I don't know who the hell was blocking Alec Pierce, but they should have kept throwing to that guy.
Our secondary
Alex Pierce was killing.
Yeah. Did they try to run any screens to?
Yes, and they were awful.
And they were. I'm gonna let you know the coach was so uncreative. Like, I was like, man, I'm glad that I'm glad that they did not, running no trick plays or nothing, because I'm like, our defense looked garbage. You know what I'm saying? But
If you look at our roster, the roster is not bad. Actually, the roster is probably one of the best rosters in the league.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
Our
When you
coach
say
is
they have
a
a better
fucking
roster than us.
The dude couldn't coach a brick wall. Like the guy, I'm so tired of Frank Reich. And you know what? I want him gone. I don't care. I don't. It's the same thing every single week, every single year. Like it's like they set these games up. Our season, in my opinion, our season's over. I don't think we had any shot at winning the division. 5 of our first 7 games were against the division. We've played 3 of those 5 games, and we still haven't won a single game in the division. We had 0 shot at winning this division. So I'd tack on another year of, going to Jacksonville and looking like a bunch of idiots. Tack on another year of starting the season off after having 7 months to prepare, looking like a bunch of idiots.
Against the Texans at that.
Yeah. No. Dude, nobody can sit here. I don't care what Colts fans tell me. Nobody can sit here and tell me to be patient. Tell me to climb the road. It's a long season. We're still climbing a mountain. We're still climbing Mount Everest. Like I don't fucking care anymore. Like I'm so sick of Frank Reich. And then you go and you listen to post game. We got out coach. We got out player. We got out mentor. We got out everything. To fucking fix something, dude.
Yeah, maybe do something different.
Do fucking something.
Try
different.
a new idea.
And
That climbing mountain slogan that just feels like Gus Bradley had something to do with that because his big mantra in Jacksonville, their thing, they had a huge banner printed where the players would come out onto the field and it was just get better.
No. Climbing mountains has been a thing for like fucking 5
Just get better. It sounded like you would have thought you were walking into like a cancer clinic. Like wellness is our goal, right?
Oh, Jesus. I'm so sick of it. And we talk about screens. Paris Campbell finally, after 5.5 weeks, it feels like, finally got 1 screen pass that went 20 yards, I think. I think it was like 15 or 20 yards late in the game. Why haven't we been doing that for 4 weeks? I've been telling people, why is Paris Campbell not getting more opportunities? Why is Naheem Hines? He only got 1 touch early in the game. Like, he is a Titans killer. And these guys are not getting it all. This has nothing to do with the players on the field. This has everything to do with the idiot who is the head guy, Mr. Potato Head, Mr. Sack of Shithead. It's like that dude sucks. I'm done with Frank Reich. I want nothing to do with him. I'm gonna continue to watch the games. My prediction every week is the same. We'll probably start the game down by 56, probably bring it back to within 52, and then lose by like 3 or 4 every week because that is what this coach does. This coach starts out slow, comes back, and then does some dumb shit at the end of the game, and then we lose the game. Or he starts out slow, and then we don't come back at all, or we tie. Right? That's the new wrinkle this year. We've tied now. We don't just win or lose. Now we tie. So that is my rant on the Colts. The team does not suck. I still think it's the best team in the division from a roster perspective, but Frank Reich is a complete moron, and I'm so sick of watching this guy coach this team.
It's funny, good coaching. It's like sometimes you never notice it, right? But like bad coaching is like a glaring.
You notice. It's like, wait, why did we just run this same play 15 times in a row, knowing you didn't?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, because when you look at coaching from that perspective, good coaching results in on field. Like the thing is, you could easily, and I mean, I make it he for this. I don't care. As good as Patrick Mahomes is, being with Andy Reid gives him a lot of leeway because Andy Reid is a coach that has for years proven that he had that knack for being able to identify strengths and weaknesses and know exactly what he needs to do in terms of putting product on the field. But the problem with Frank Reich is that you see that a defense is not as strong as they normally would be in a certain area. Like you can pass the tight ends. Jelani Woods is a grown-ass man. Mo Alley Cox was going off. And yet you're still trying to run up the middle when you know that you have questionable protection at the right guard position as well as left tackle position.
When there's one guy on the other side of the line, Jeffrey Simmons, who's owning every single one of them, dude's getting triple covered and he fucking steps on him. But it's like, oh, you know what? Let's just keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
I didn't understand it. I was like, okay, they don't want to get JP involved.
Last year.
No.
Yeah, last year the Jags had maybe the worst coach in the history of the league, and they were so bland. You know, it's bad when somebody who is essentially a noob starts to predict the offensive play. Like, hey, we're gonna run it on the right tackle. We're gonna dump it out on a screen pass here for -3 yards. And like there was a couple games last year, like every play I was able to just predict. And if I'm predicting it, the professionals on the field playing against them know exactly what's coming too. And that's what it felt like a little bit with the Colts when they played the Jags. It was like, oh, well, I know what they're going to do here. I know what they're going to do there. I know what they're going to do
different. It's even gone. Frank Reich used to have a really good opening script, like 15, 20 plays were like really good. That's not good anymore. It's the same opening script for 6 years in a row. Like that shit hasn't changed either. Yeah. I'm just done. I don't care about Frank Reich. I don't care if we win. If we win the division, I don't care. I hope we tank because mostly I don't care about the picks. I just want the guy gone. So whatever it takes to make that happen, that needs to happen.
I hope you guys do just well enough that they keep him forever.
And you know what? That is the most Colts thing that will happen.
I hope you got win like seven games just so y'all don't get a top pick, or
we'll be like 5-12, 6-11, and we'll just be right outside the top 5. And then Jim Irsay will come and be like, all chips in, guys. All chips in.
So what do y'all think about y'all owner, man? There's something wrong with that dude, man. I don't know what's going on.
He used to do coke. I mean, that's
I think he's too much of a nice guy, honestly.
He's the old white man version of Antonio Brown.
He doesn't.
Oh God.
I think Jim Irsay is a cool guy. Like I got nothing problem with the guy, but my problem with the guy is that he's too much of a nice guy. I think he doesn't have the balls to make the moves to really win. He's just all talk. Oh man, we're gonna win 2 Super Bowls in the next 10 years, but we're gonna do it with the same coach who does the same thing for 16 years in a row. Like, Frank Reich is really in danger. You guys remember when Marvin Lewis was in Cincinnati forever?
Yeah.
That's about to be Frank Reich, I have a feeling. Frank Reich is going to be in Indy forever. He's going to win he might get to the playoffs every now and then. Might win a playoff game every now and then, but Jim Irsay loves his Frank Reich, so he's going to be.
Hey, Marvin Lewis didn't win a playoff game, so at least you're getting that out of him.
Fuck. Wait. Frank Reich did win a playoff game fucking 8 years ago.
Yeah, with Andrew Luck. That was it.
And it was against the Texans. So.
Yeah,
I think Jim Irsay really likes the publicity of being an owner, but he's got a little bit of what I see in Shad Khan, where Shad Khan can't make hard decisions sometimes, and then when he does, he just does the complete wrong decision. It's like, yes, I need you to fix a thing, but you made it worse.
Well, and I'm going to say something very low key is that Irsay generally hires, or they usually hire the same head coach ever since Dungy. It's just like it's the guy who, because I mean, if you look at Tony Dungy, and the only reason why I say that is because Tony Dungy was always very soft-spoken, very quiet, but always to earn that respect. He had the respect of the locker room. Of course, when he retired, Caldwell was the same thing. Then you get that.
I think I gave up on him way too soon.
Yeah,
no, definitely did. Caldwell should still be there. I'm gonna say Caldwell is probably the one coach who's been super underrated that has never gotten the respect that he deserved. But that's a discussion for a whole nother day. But once again, Caldwell. And then you get somebody like Pagano, who, I mean, Pagano is basically just the defensive version of Frank Reich. It's just like there's no fire, there's no anything. It's literally just like they got by on the whole. And I don't mean to make light of his situation, but the whole Chuck Strong thing was the motivational piece. That's what they went with. But then, once he wasn't dealing with that anymore, now we're still Chuck Strong, we're still doing that, but it's just like it doesn't have that effect. Like you're basically like you got to go out there and do this for you. We're not doing this for Chuck anymore because he's right here on the sideline with us.
Right.
From an outsider's perspective, it's always.
You said what?
You should have kept Bruce Arians over Chuck.
Oh, absolutely.
Should have kept Bruce Arians. Should have kept Nick Sirianni. Should have kept.
It feels like, from an outsider's perspective, a non-Colts fan perspective, it feels like the Colts have been trying to reproduce the success they had with Dungy and Peyton the same way. Feels like they've tried to recreate that.
That's not true because they would have tried to found their young QB by now.
Well, I think they're trying to just tap into the glory years. It looks like they're always looking for
the easy way out.
Peyton Manning at his top rather than have to wait on a young guy to develop.
Yeah.
So
And then also, I mean, I think the other thing with Ballard is just like it's that pride. It's just like he's the GM. He's the guy who's responsible for that roster. So the thing is, to him, it's just like we can build this in-house. We can go do this. We don't have to go out there and pay somebody. And then what do you have? You have an O-line that, you have two guys who are literally completely screwing up all chemistry and any type of momentum you have with the O-line. You have spots that you could have corrected over the years, but you chose not to because you're trying to draft guys who you think are going to have an immediate impact in the 5th round. And yes, you have hit on some of those, but the thing is they haven't been to the point where they deserve to absolutely be starters now. Matt Pryor is not a starter. Matt Pryor is not a starting offensive tackle. I don't give a shit what anybody says. He's trash. Neither is Danny Pinter. But those are the guys you said earned the ability to do it, and they haven't earned shit. They have never done well enough to be able to actually be starters in the NFL.
Yeah, but I'm sick of Ballard shit too. Like I'm done. I'm done with this regime. I'm ready to move on. But that's my soapbox. I'm done with it.
So then moving on to somebody who might have a sunnier outlook on yesterday's game, RJ. Tell us about it because I know it's just like I give us a brief troll version and then give us the actual version with you being a reasonable human being, not being Flame Douglas. Okay.
All right. First thing I'll say, man, it's always good to beat up on them Colts, man, especially out of all the trash we heard from the offseason from the beginning. And after we told y'all time after time again, man, that we were gonna beat y'all and we're probably gonna sweep y'all. It's always good. I just talk about the first half. I mean, the first half, the Titans, they came out, they looked like they were ready to play. Derrick Henry was running. We got a turnover to start the game off. We shut the crowd up. You know what I'm saying? Derrick Henry we got Derrick Henry in the passing game. I don't think y'all saw that coming. But Derrick Henry in the passing game. Tannehill looked crisp in the first half. Defense, defense did their job. We came right out, stopped Jonathan Taylor, and we gave out a couple of big plays from Matt Ryan. What else? I mean, we got a rookie tight end involved, Chigga Okonkwo. Got Robert Woods' his first touchdown. It was a solid first half. The only bad thing I'll say about that first half was that the ending of the first half when Traylon Burks didn't go out of bounds. And Ryan Tannehill tried to run and get a first down on 3rd and 2 and didn't get the first down. And we had to hurry up and bring everybody out there to get the field goal to go up 3 scores. I thought that was terrible. Especially being a Mike Vrabel coach team, usually don't see stuff like that. I mean, like I said, it's always good to beat the Colts. I was happy, but at the same time, there was a lot of negatives from this game, especially from a Titan standpoint. Now, let me get back to my, reasonable Titan, the Titan outlook of it. The secondary is trash. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Outside of Christian Fulton, I mean, Roger McCray, he's pretty solid, but other than that, it's trash. I mean, y'all could have threw for 500 yards today. Not today, but Sunday. The run defense did a good job, but at the same time, I mean, everybody that was literally the game plan. Just come out there and just hit Jonathan Taylor as many times as possible. So I don't know how good the run defense is. I mean, it just seemed like we was just playing a team that was very committed to the run. So we just gonna just go out there and stop the run. I want to see what we look like when we play a team that's dedicated to pass. Then they throw runs at us and get the runs in. Throw runs in there at any point in time. My thing is like. The second half play calling was terrible. I mean, we got way too conservative. We let the Colts back in the game. You guys had about 6-7 chances to win the game, and y'all were blowing it. And we can't play like that if we're going to beat a team like the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? Some of these top teams that we're going to see if we make it to the playoffs. We can't play like that. We got to get in the second half. We got to have the same energy that we had in the first half. We should have. That game shouldn't even been close. I look at it from that standpoint. The game should not even have been close. We should have won that game by 3 scores. But the fact that the offensive coordinator who's freaking trash, outside of scripting the first 2 drives, it just seemed like he just loses all creativity and starts calling the same Derrick Henry up the middle for the first 2 plays and then throw a slant route or a curl route. Like sooner or later, y'all gonna figure that out. You know what I'm saying? And just from that standpoint, like. I'm also like, I don't know what to think about J-Rob. Like J-Rob, he says he's a good GM, but at the same time, we don't have very much talent on this team. Like, I understand that we have a good scheme, good coach, an elite head coach, in my opinion. And I mean, Brave was showing again why he's the coach of the year. He's coaching this non-talented team, and he's winning games with them. Like, I just don't think this team's talented enough to beat some of the top teams in the AFC to get to the Super Bowl. We're probably gonna. I don't even know if we're gonna beat the Jags. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it from this standpoint.
You won't.
We still on y'all. But at the same time, I look at it like this. I don't know if we're gonna beat the Jags. The only way we're gonna beat the Jags is we do exactly what we did to Colts and get up on them and just pray that they're gonna lose the game on their own. That's basically what we've been doing the past 2 games. We get up on you and then we just play this soft coverage and beg you to lose the game. Like that's not going to beat any of these teams that know how to win football games. And I feel like the Jags know how to win football games. But we'll see when we play the Jags because, I mean, Derrick Henry owns them. So we'll see.
So then my question, because, you know, I'm going to say the Titans fan base, you can admit, they flip-flop a little bit.
Oh, yeah. We're the most flip-flop fan base in the South.
So then, knowing what you know now, because, I mean, it looks like Derrick Henry might be able to kind of get back to form.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about Ryan Tannehill being able to lead this team with what you have right now? Because Treylon Burks is going to be out for a while now, too. Yeah. So now you're going to have Westbrook-Akine, I'm going to say Kyle Phillips. Like, you're going to have those guys there. Like, how do you feel about Ryan Tannehill in terms of a passer, since it looks like you're going to have to be a little bit more balanced now?
Yes. And I look at it from this standpoint. Our receiving core, I mean, it could be better. I don't understand why we didn't pay A.J. Brown. You know, I tried to cope and try to act like it didn't matter. Or we got Treylon Burks, he's just good. No, he's not. You know,
they got deeper at the receiver
we told you
position.
Buddy, like I said, man, I was so flame head, you know, tightened up. I just didn't want to admit it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to admit it, man. I thoroughly miss A.J. Brown. Like, this offense needs A.J. Brown. It was clear and obvious in the second half. We needed a wide receiver that's just going to get open and get down the field. Our downfield passing game is trash. Y'all saw it yourself in the Colts game. We couldn't even throw the ball down the field outside of the first 2 drives. Like, I kept saying it during the game, can we throw it down the field to change the momentum? Maybe if we throw it down the field and they, you know, saying the crowd shut up and the Colts will probably just, you know, I ain't gonna say give up, but they'll lose a little bit of momentum. Like, they know they can stop us. We're gonna have to throw it down the field. Tannehill, don't get me wrong, I feel like Tannehill's been playing good this year, but at the same time, like, he doesn't have any weapons to throw it down the field. You can't sit there and say he's a bad quarterback when he don't have the weapons. It's like we're giving him excuses to be bad. I don't like that. I'd rather him to have all the talent and for him to lose a game on his own, and we can blame him. We can't blame him if the talent around him is trash.
Well, what's Cheeseburger's injury?
He got a turf toe.
Oh, that's like what, 3 weeks?
I have no clue.
They said he's looking at about 4 weeks out.
4 weeks.
Oh. He sprained his stomach eating too many cheeseburgers pregame.
I told you they were gonna have to keep a security guard at the gate just to make sure that he didn't take breaks for Krispy Kreme. But I mean, y'all weren't listening to me.
When he goes through security, they don't check for weapons; they're checking for cheeseburgers. Like, come on, man. We told you.
See now that we know they have no wide receivers, the next game we play y'all, we're gonna run like cover 6, prevent.
I mean, if I was y'all, I'd just blitz every freaking play. Like, I mean,
why?
Receiver gonna burn.
Why?
Listen, what is that? What exactly is that?
You only have a running back that walks. Why do we need to blitz? We'll just play cover 6.
All you gotta do, I'm telling you, this is what y'all gotta do to beat us next. The next time y'all come to Nashville, put Stephon Gilmore on Robert Woods and blitz. That's all you gotta do.
hey,
it's that simple.
You want to send Frank Reich an email and let him know?
No, I'm not sending him that. Hey, I gotta figure out that on your own.
Well, shit, nobody can send him an email. That dude.
That's all you
probably can't even read his
emails.
This is also coming from the same defense that put Brandon Faison out there, and Derrick Henry made him look absolutely foolish. And then you put Isaiah Rodgers in, and he gets tackled for -2 yards.
Did you see the play that whatever the hell his name is, Derrick Henry ran right by him? You realize they ran the exact same play, and Isaiah Rodgers tackled him, right? It was the exact same play, exact same route, exact same hole. Exact same. It was literally the same play except 2 different defensive backs.
So I got one for you. So you guys ready to admit that Derrick Henry better than Jonathan Taylor?
No, because my coach keeps running in the same fucking hole.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
quick fact,
listen.
quick fact, and then we're gonna get out of there. Even with Jonathan Taylor having a bad day yesterday, he's still 6th in rushing yards, and Derrick Henry is now 10th in rushing yards.
So he's getting there.
Do with that as you may. Josh,
So you're welcome for running.
Only Colts fans think Taylor's better than Henry. Get out of here, bro.
You're welcome for running cover 6 yesterday all day.
but guys, we're going to. It's been a fun almost hour and a half. I'm pretty sure Sam is going to come in when she gets back. But you know, when you make premium content like this, you run a little bit over. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, with that being said, guys, where can they find you on social media? Starting with Matt Briggs.
Yeah, you can find me at A1 Day 1 Texans, and you can catch us live on Wednesdays at 8:30 Central PM. Texans Fan Battle everywhere. Check us out.
All right, RJ, where can we find you besides trolling in AFC South Fan Battle?
Yeah, I don't have a Twitter right now. I'm thinking about making one just so I can say any more trolling.
I'm telling you, in the same time it takes for you to make 4 posts, you can make a Twitter account.
Bro, if you think trolling in our group is fun, wait till you troll on Twitter. It's like the most epic thing
so
ever.
fun.
Oh, God.
It's so much fun.
And you're less likely to get suspended.
Yeah.
No,
You might talk to more idiots though, so be aware.
Harish, where can the people find you?
You can find me at #FireFrankReich on Twitter. Just kidding. Find me at the Uncle Gandhi everywhere. Probably tweeting out #FireFrankReich.
All right, and Josh, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter. My handle is Josh Gives Up, but also 10:30 every Tuesday on the Jaguar with me and Matt Grieve. Tomorrow we'll be talking about obviously what happened on Sunday, and we're gonna have a special guest, Cody Blankenship, big fan of this program, and he's chimed in on our first 3. He's gonna join us. You may know him by his habitual Jags by Fitty comment that he leaves on every broadcast. So, should be a fun time.
All right, and you can catch me at CJ Colts Fan. Also, You Don't Know Jack podcast which will actually be broadcasting tomorrow. Broadcast on Tuesdays tomorrow's going to be 9:45. So catch us 9:45 Eastern time, and then please make sure that you're going to manscaped.com. Remember, use code FANBATTLE. 20% off any purchase that you make, includes free shipping. So make sure that you go check that out today. Other than that, Matt, what else we got?
That's it. Other than the Titans fans are too scared to start a podcast, so that's why
RJ, you gonna take that, bro?
They're too busy injecting mayo straight into their veins.
Straight to the lungs, huh?
Too busy letting me live rent free in their heads all day. They don't have time to podcast. So.
Dang, RJ, you're gonna have to get you in a coalition of some part timers to go ahead and make this happen. I'm gonna say, listen, you will be able to say the Tennessee Tickler podcast. That's where we're gonna be going.
Tickle Squad.
All right, people. Well, listen, you guys have a great night, and we will see you throughout this week once you tune into all the podcasts. All right. And on that note, peace out, everybody. We'll see you soon. Be safe. Still praying for the people affected by Hurricane Ian. And